As you guys probably know, I am a diehard Mustang guy. I love them so much that I realized I've never experienced their OG competitor. That is until I stumbled across this 69 Camaro at a swap meet, marking the first Generation 1 Camaro I have ever had. It's got its fair share of issues, so you and I are gonna have to get to work. Remember a couple weeks back when I turned this 95 Caprice wagon into somewhat of a donk? And in that video, I said we were gonna take it on a road trip pretty soon? Well, we did, and that's the start of this crazy story. 2 days after finishing this car, 4 of my friends and I piled into it and drove it 2 hours to the Carlisle Spring Swap Meet. The road trip there went flawlessly, and Carlisle itself was great. We walked all the aisles, we bought lots of car parts, and then I stumbled across a steal of a deal on a vehicle I had never had before, and I basically had to buy it. But that's where the adventure starts, and it's also when we started filming. Time travel. Oh no. Oh God, oh no. I just bought this 69 Camaro, the first generation Camaro I have ever bought in my life, and I bought it at a swap meet. And the swap meet is 2 hours from home, and the Camaro has the most dangerously god-awful alignment I've ever experienced. Keep in mind I'm going 30 miles an hour. If I turn the wheel to the right a half an inch, it pulls me off the road violently. That's very dangerous. So with this knowledge that if I turn the wheel ever so slightly, it tries to kill me, we are entering onto the interstate, where we will perform an hour-and-a-half drive, realistically in 3 hours. I bought this car because it was a very, very good deal for what it was. Do you hear the tires squealing right now? Do you hear that? I bought this car because it was a good deal. I wouldn't say it was on impulse, I would say it was calculated risk investment, and I really do think it's a good deal still. Granted, I realize now I'm super dumb, and I got caught up in the moment because a bunch of other people were trying to buy it, and I didn't check a single fluid, and I didn't test drive it. So look, if I let the wheel do its thing, it pulls hard. I have to keep the wheel perfectly centered. It does kind of seem like the faster I go, the less likely it is to want to rip it out of my hands, but 50 miles an hour is our max, and we were doing like 90 on the way there in the Caprice wagon, so this is going to be a slow road trip. I guess I'll show you guys the car when we get home, if we get home tonight. I really hope we do, because I'm tired. I'm running off 3 hours of sleep, and I have completely not tested this car. I don't know if it's going to make it, but that's what adventures are for, right? Cameraman and I are going to strap in and hope that we don't die. I don't know what's going on, but it has developed a crazy death wobble. Crazy wobble. So I guess you guys will get to see the car for the first time on the side of this interstate. Feels like there's like a giant knot in a tire or something. Anyways, look at my car. Wow. 69 Camaro. Rusty. Okay, basically it was feeling pretty good at 60 miles an hour, and then it developed a sort of vibration that I thought might be a driveline vibration, but it's definitely in the front end. And it just started getting way worse. That's my car. I want to pop the hubcaps off to make sure the lug nuts aren't loose. And you saw, it was pretty bad. It was feeling pretty okay at 60, and then it developed a front end wobble that was getting worse. Oh, I see the problem. Do you see the problem? Oh no. This is a horrible idea. Boy, if only I had brought any tools or a spare tire. Hold the phone. That's not good. I might genuinely just call it a tow shop. Okay. Well, I gotta limp this to the nearest exit. That's bad. This tire is gonna blow. I'm gonna ride the shoulder. Normally, I am an advocate for taking the totally untested vehicle from the swap meet and driving it 2 hours home, but this time it's really biting me in the ass, as I'm stuck on the turnpike for at least another mile to the next exit. What's funny is We all drove the Caprice station wagon to Carlisle today. And Matt said this morning, we should probably bring a toolkit. And I said, nah, the Caprice is fine. I didn't really even think about the possibility of buying a horribly unreliable vehicle like the one we're in right now. Because if I had like a jack and a tire iron, I could have tossed that spare on and at least not been in as dangerous of a position. I'm not one to regret my decisions, but this one was borderline regrettable. This is one of those adventures that I was not planning on filming at all. I wasn't planning on buying a 69 Camaro today, but it happened. I wasn't planning on having a tire almost explode, but it's happening. I may as well call for a rollback and bite the bullet because none of my friends are home with my trailer. It'll be faster to just get a local rollback to tow it home, and then we'll probably pile back into the Caprice and cannonball back somehow. This is sketch. The exit's right there. Oh, the rock. Oh. We got a flat. Oh my God, dude, it's a mess. Sorry, car, I'm cutting you off. Oh, the lane's closed. I'm. Go, get over. This is stupid. What?
There's like shreds of tire. Yeah. We also have a flat.
No! No! We were gonna get a tow truck and I'll drive that.
Wait. What bolt pattern?
Hey, guess what I bought at the swap meet? 5x5 wheels. How bad's that tire? Let me see. That some is about to f***ing explode. What a surprising turn of events. We pull off at the toll plaza, and I decided I need a tow truck, and then we'll all drive the Caprice home, and then turns out the Caprice also has a flat tire, but I did happen to buy 5x5 wheels, completely unrelated to the Caprice, at the swap meet we just left. Now the issue is, we need to get a 5x5 wheel on the front of the Caprice in order to drive it, and I also need a tow truck. So basically, here's where we're at. I just got off the phone with the towing company. Thankfully, I found a towing and roadside rescue company, which both has a rollback and tools to change a tire. So they're going to come scoop up this Camaro to take it back to the shop, but they're also going to let us use their impact and their jack, and I'm going to toss on at least one, possibly all, of the wheels I just bought, because I know they have a thicker sidewall and they won't pop when they hit rocks.
What did you just pull up?
The radar. This is a big, scary storm coming to kill us while we change the tire. Let's go.
It's gonna be here
Very soon.
probably pretty soon. Yes, thank God. Here, take this cameraman, please.
No, you're not towing this car, I hope you know. It might have popped this one. It did. It popped both of them. Tow truck driver might not have 10 more sockets. Oh, thank God. They work. Dude, I don't even know if it like damaged the tire. I think it might have just popped it because of the force off the bead. Yeah. The downsides of having a dome. I like this tool. It's pretty cool. Swapped. Alright, I'm gonna make sure the keys are in the Camaro and then we're hitting the road. Now we can hit the road. He's gonna handle the Camaro. I trust him and I also don't care. I just want to go home. So hopefully these tires don't rub like a motherfucker. But I need my phone so I can look at the GPS. So see you in a second.
1 hour later.
Update. We drove an hour, perfectly fine, made it to a town and got dinner. And immediately after dinner, I got pulled over. I don't know if it's because of my straight piped wagon or if it's the fact that I purposefully tried to evade the police by pulling into a parts store parking lot and then immediately doing a U-turn and pulling back out, only to find that I was right behind the cop and then he pulled over and then I tried to evade him again by going to the gas station and then he pulled in and turned his lights on and pulled me over because I have an expired tag. But I got off scot-free and I filled up my tank. Everybody say a quick prayer that nothing else weird and stupid happens to us in the remaining 40 minutes of this trip.
Next crazy event, Josh died.
Man, that cop messed up our time. Now we're in the rain.
Dude, it's raining now. I will say, he didn't even give me a warning. I kind of expected. Is that him right there? Better not.
No.
Hey, I'm in the clear. He ran the bin and everything, dude. Okay, well, hopefully I don't have to update you until we're back at the shop, because if I do, it probably means we are dead or have gotten arrested. So, see you soon. Oh, welcome back. That last clip is when we basically gave up for the night and stopped filming, but we did make it home in the wagon with the other wheels. I ended up buying 2 new tires for it. We got the 22s back on, and that's pretty much the end of the story for the station wagon. And that means the adventure of my very first 69 Camaro can begin. On top of being horrifically rusty in a multitude of places, you guys know this thing is not roadworthy yet. So I've prepared a small list of things that we are gonna tackle to get it back on the road. Starting with, obviously, it needs tires. I need to align it. I need to fix that belt squeak. I need to fix the brakes. I would like to tackle the wiring. The interior is insanely sticky all over, so I'm gonna fix that. And I might possibly make it loud, because this is Tom's refurb. So let's get to it. I will say I'm kind of dreading putting it on the lift, because I've got a rough idea of how crusty it is underneath, but I'm not gonna know until it's up there. I already see more rust than I did in my excited state at the swap meet. This might be bad. I don't hear excessive crunching. Oh no. Oh no. Rocker panel. Somebody replaced the rocker panel by putting a new rocker over the old rocker. And both of them are rotted. The floor has been patched in probably the worst way possible. Ooh, check it out. Spray foam. Awesome. The front subframe does not look bad at all, actually. That might be the most solid part of the entire car. Look at this, dude. 3-layer hole. Somebody did a botched restoration on it probably 20 years ago, and then it sat in somebody else's driveway under a tarp in some wet-ish climate for 10 or 20 years, and this is what you're left with after a really bad restoration. But my goal's not to restore it. My goal is to get it back on the road. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with the tires, because look, this is our problem child. The reason that we had to get a tow truck. If you look at it kind of from the side, this is bulged out dangerously far. If you look at it from the back, the tread is doing this and also bulged out in a terrible way. See, this one's fine, just dry.
Wait, look at how messed up this one is.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. If your tire, oh my God. If your tire looks like that, don't drive it on the interstate. After a quick visit to my tire pile, I have found 255 6015s. The car has 235 6015s all around, so I'll be able to use these on the rear, and hopefully my local tire shop has something smaller for the front. We'll be right back. And we're back. We've got the 255 60s. These came off of the green Jaguar from a few months back, and the tire shop had some 205 7015s, which are perfect, about the same height, big and little look. And, best of all, it cost me $130 altogether. That's what I like to see. Oh yeah. That's the no lift shift way to take on impacting. Now that the tires are on, the next course of action is a home alignment. I'm not taking this to no shop. I'm gonna align it using toe plates, and I'm going to adjust these tie rods to get the toe correct, and then I'm gonna shim the control arms to get the camber closer. Probably won't be perfect, but it won't steer me off the road every time I let go of the wheel. Little double D on there. Grease her up. Say hello. Next, I will lift the very beautiful hood and also grease up these control arm bolts. As you can see, there's about 3 shims in them in total. We're probably gonna have to add more. I'm just breaking the tie rod adjusters loose now so that we can begin to dial in the toe. I should probably do camber first though. Now for the camber, I'm strictly gonna eyeball it. This wheel, honestly, is pretty straight up and down, but this wheel is cambered in a decent bit. I'm gonna try my best to dial it in flawlessly by probably just adding 1 shim on top of the control arm and crossing my fingers that it makes it perfect. I was wrong. To fix the camber on this wheel, I think I'm actually just gonna remove the shim. You can see there are no shims in the front of the control arm and there are shims in the rear of the control arm, but that brings the top of the tire in, which makes the camber worse. So hopefully I can remove the 2 shims of the control arm and it'll be fine. Poor man's impact. Pry bar. Oh yeah, there she is. And I'm sure at some point some alignment shop aligned this properly by installing those shims, but doesn't seem to want those shims anymore, so I took them out and I'm just gonna cross my fingers that that's perfect. I'm the worst aligner in the world, okay? You don't have to comment and say, Tom, you should never align a car, because I know. I'm just trying to make it marginally better. Okay, and that's tight. Does the camber eyeball look slightly better? Yes, honestly. So sort of not really, but I don't know what else to do. Now that I've expertly dialed in the camber, I'm going to adjust the toe and cross my fingers that it's good. These are toe plates. They are from Long Acre Racing, and they use these aluminum plates and 2 tape measures. Basically all you do is go on either side, get those toe plates flush against each tire, and then you run the tape measure through to each one, and you check the difference in measurement from the back to the front. You want an 1/8 inch of toe in, if I remember correctly, so we're gonna go for that. As we can see, it is very much toed out, and I'm kind of curious to see how far toed out it is. Okay, there's 1 tape measure, there's 2. All right, are you flushed against the tire?
Yes.
All right. Oh, wow. Go very far off. The rear is at 69 3/4. The front is at 70 5/8. That's pretty far off. Upon closer inspection, it's actually more like 70 13/16 and 69 3/4. So I need to do the math on the difference between those and then add 1/8 of an inch to that, because you want 1/8 inch of toe in, I believe. Let me actually double check that to make sure I'm not just spitting absolute garbage right now. After double checking, I realize now you want the tires to be towed in 1/16 of an inch, but 1/8 inch isn't a big deal. So we are currently at 1 1/16 of an inch towed in, so we want to back that off a full inch so that we have 1/16 of toe in. Does that make sense? Basically, I have to adjust those tie rod adjusters until we bring the wheels the correct amount out. And what I'm going to do before that, I have the steering wheel in pretty much the perfectly straight position. And then what I'm going to do is look at where the wheels are. And whichever wheel is towed in more, I'm gonna try to adjust that tie rod out so that we don't adjust both of them and have the steering wheel be off. Hopefully it works. Again, I'm not a professional at this. I've aligned a minimum amount of cars with success, but I'm just figuring it out. Upon further inspection, they are about equally towed out, I'd say, so I'm gonna adjust them in equal increments and try to keep track of it. This is hard. It's hard. Now to tow back in, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this the right way. All right, I am. That's a full turn on this side. Let me go over and do a full turn on the other side as well. This side does not want to adjust. That's a fun problem to have. Okay, well, maybe the steering wheel's gonna be off. Whoops. Turns out I'm gonna be doing my adjustments on the driver's side, and the steering wheel might be off. But it's not gonna murder me. We are now at 69 15/16. in the rear. And in the front, we are at, oh wow, still 70.5. I'm going to adjust this side, probably, I'm not gonna try to do the math. I'm just gonna go another turn and see where it keeps us. We went from 1 1/16 inch toe out, and now we're at 9/16 inch toe out. And that means every full turn of this, a tie rod adjuster, gives us a 1/2 inch of toe out roughly. So that means basically, I'm just gonna give it one more full turn, and hopefully it's pretty daggone close.
This side turns so easily, and the other side doesn't turn at all. All right, now, we're at one full turn.
You are supposed to take the car out and drive it in between each change, but that's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to now start the car up and just kind of wiggle the steering back and forth to hopefully give us an idea of where we're at.
Well, that full turn didn't change it quite as much as the first time, so I am going one more full turn, and we'll see how we are. Let me wiggle the steering wheel, and we'll check.
It's definitely just looking better. Let's see. Now we are at 70 3/8, and now we're at 70 on the dot. So now we are towed in 3/8 of an inch, which is a little bit too much. So I'm gonna back this off, probably a 1/2 turn. I'm gonna tighten them both up and we'll go for a spin and see how it feels. I'm gonna fix that before we drive it anywhere. Let me just tighten this alternator up. This is very inconvenient. Please don't move. Thank you. Okay. I should probably fix this, the push to start, but I don't know if I care enough, because it works. It's also an anti-theft. Oh, I can't wait to fix the sticky. The sticky is so bad. Feels a little better. It's not scary anymore. Before it was like, hold on, we got into like 30 miles an hour. Still not great, but it's better than it was. It was pretty terrifying when we first got it out on the road. All right, so let me get some eyeballs on it. Let's see. Now, I don't know if I'm like a bumbling idiot, but now it looks like that passenger wheel that I took the shims out of on top is cambered out, meaning it needs shims again. I should not be aligning cars. So I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna recheck the toe, and I'm gonna mess with the camber a little bit. Then we'll probably call it a day and make it loud. Oh, that's all it's got. The alignment's genuinely not half as scary as it was when we left Carlisle, and that's good. Now, because my metric for how much one turn of this actually adjusts is pretty much a mystery, I think I'm going to back it off just a little more than a 1/2 turn. My metric has resorted to maybe. Now, I'm going to add one of the shims back into the top and hope that that just flawlessly dials in the camber. But I don't think it's gonna. This is Tom's Refurb. We almost never aim for perfection. Let's go for another drive.
Too quiet.
Now, I'm well aware the problem could be just like we had when we aligned 8-ball, where the suspension is just so blown out in the front that no adjusting fixes it. And I'm probably not gonna replace any components because I don't love this car like I loved 8-ball. I'm going to get it less sketchy. The camber still looks like it has some positive, so I don't know. Oh wow. Darts a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. If you turn the wheel kind of quick, it goes art. I would like to say that's good for like performance driving, but it's not. It's not safe. Good news though is I was kind of worried about the brakes, but it does stop half decent. I have now adjusted the toe, I believe, as close as we're gonna get it. But looking at the camber, I definitely need to shim, I think, both control arms, especially this one. I'm looking at how the tires press against the concrete, and you can see that both wheels are like this. So I'm gonna add that shim back into the back of the passenger control arm. I'm gonna add a shim to the front, and then I'm gonna add an equal shim to both of the driver's side upper control arm. Again, just kinda tossing stuff in there and making adjustments until it doesn't try to kill me at 40 miles an hour. I'm a fan of big changes, so I've put an 1/8 inch shim on all of the bolts on the upper control arm, which should give us a pretty big change. Now let's go for another test drive. Let's see how it looks after rolling down the driveway. That looks better, okay? I know alignments are not something you should eyeball, but my eyeballs say that's slightly better, and it's gonna drive slightly better. I really hope I don't prove myself wrong. All right, let's get up to 40. How we feeling? Oh, dude! I should align all cars on the road. That's good enough for me. High five, cameraman.
That's so much better.
So much better, it's not gonna murder us. See? An 1/8 inch body shim on all of the upper control arm bolts has flawlessly fixed our issue. Cameraman, Tom's Reverb Alignment Shop will be opening soon. We will use nothing but measuring tapes and our eyeballs because this son is feeling pretty good. How will she take this corner? This high-speed performance corner. Come on now.
Body roll.
Dude, I can autocross this thing. Maybe not gonna autocross it. We're gonna stay away from the autocrosses in this car. And we're gonna go change our pants. And I'm gonna pull over and have a quick heart attack before we continue filming. Now, Tom's Reverb Alignment Shop is not proven for expert handling maneuvers, but it's not that bad. Simple drivability, it honestly does feel significantly better. Like, I'm calling that good. I think we can continue on. Like, look, dude, I'm off the steering wheel, we're driving straight. That means we must have got, we're pretty straight. I only had to touch it once. That means we're pretty close on the toe. And it's not yanking me all over the road, which it was on the way home from Carlisle. So let's get back to the shop. Let's get back to work. Good news is we have new tires. We have a perfect alignment. The belt is tight and no longer squeaking. The brakes, honestly, after driving it again, feel fine. I'm not worried about it. The wiring, I was gonna fix that push button, but do I really care? No. Easiest thing to do with a to-do list is write things on the list and then just don't do them, but cross them off. Makes the to-do list way more fun. Now, we have to tackle the two final things. Sticky. And to make it loud. I'm gonna start by making it loud, because this is Tom's Reverb. I heard the rear frame crunch a little bit when I did that. Awesome. We just went and got the exhaust as hot as possible before cutting it off. That just makes things way more pleasant. I can see the comments now. Only Tom will buy a car that has terrible rust issues and ignore all of them to cut the mufflers off. There you go, I already said it. You don't have to comment it. Took care of that problem. Now, it's time for some speedy 10s. Obviously gotta hear it straight piped. Or we don't. Never mind. Now, what we have here are my very own Speedy 10 stainless steel mufflers available at speedysequipment.com. And I'm tossing them on because they have that nice old school American sound, and I think they're gonna complement the 350 in this car very, very well. But of course, it's not gonna be as easy as I hoped, but nothing ever is. Gotta get the angle of the dangle here. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Hey, I might not be great at eyeballing alignments, but I can eyeball a couple mufflers. Pretty damn good. I say we give her a listen. I am gonna have to jump it though, because the battery magically died. Come on, baby, give me some. Yeah. That sounds way, way better. I always recommend the Speedy 10 for a small block Chevy, but things fit each other so well. Oh no. I found a wire nut. Before I fix the goop, I'm gonna fix the wire nut. I'm not gonna look under the dash, where it's possible there are more. I'm gonna fix the one in the engine bay. Now I did cross out fix the wiring, but then I spotted a wire nut, which you should never ever use on a car for any reason at all. Do not try to argue it in the comments. Never wire nut anything on your car. I'm going to fix this, but I'm not going to actually remove the starter button because it doesn't really bug me that much. I'm gonna solder that, shrink wrap it, call it a day. Got that soldered and shrink wrapped. And again, while I said I wasn't gonna fix any wiring, I'm now realizing there is no fuse powering this push to start push button. So I'm going to add one right by the battery so this car does not melt to the ground if any more shoddy wiring shorts out. Soldering in a universal inline fuse. Best place to hammer crimp, right on top of a battery. Here we go, a fuse connection. Okay, we now have a fuse connection for our starter button. Now, I'll be the first to say the wiring on this still is not fantastic, but I've made it so it's less likely to catch on fire. Similarly to how I didn't properly fix the alignment, but I made it so it doesn't quite want to kill us. So now, I'm gonna toss a fuse in there, and then we gotta fix the sticky. Now, let's take care of sticky. Mainly, the steering wheel and the dash pad are disgustingly sticky. If you get close up, you can see it's gotten melty and oozy from sitting, and it's really bad. From driving it, I've managed to release most of the sticky onto my hands. The dash pad is like horrible. Like it feels like someone smeared glue all over it. It's really nasty. And I'm hoping just some simple green degreaser will loosen it up and then we can clean it off. And then aside from that, this car is like restored in my standard. Oh, the sticky is a lot worse than I thought. Oh. Ew. The steering wheel feels like it's made out of caramel. Ew. Get aggressive with it. Ew. Oof. This is an 8-ball. Tied for probably the worst horns ever. I'm already on my third round of degreaser on the steering wheel, and it's slowly but surely becoming not as disgusting. Now for the dashboard, which is far worse. Oh my gosh, dude, like the bristles of the brush are getting stuck on this. I think it's like the oils in the vinyl have just come to the surface because I think this car sat in the sun in a driveway for probably a decade or two. Oh, it's like thick, toothpastey goop. Sticky goop. I don't like sticky goop. Believe it or not, this is more miserable than the alignment. This stuff does not want to come off. I'm on like round 3 on the dash pad now. All right, I have resorted to lacquer thinner because Simple Green was not cutting it. And this is actually kind of melting the sticky stuff, so we're good. Now that the interior is de-stickified, cameraman and I got this thing wiped down. I got the letters off the windshield, and I have tire shined the $130 used tires. So now that all of this hard work is done, we have to go experience the car. I gotta see how it stacks up against all of my beloved Mustangs. How's a first-gen Camaro drive? We're all cleaned up, got our Speedy's mufflers on it. It's sort of aligned. Now let's see how it is. Speedy 10 sounds great on this. Okay, now a good sounding performance test. First gear, what we got? Wow, okay. It runs pretty good. Just a stock 350, no cam or anything. Alignment's not perfect. Hey, alignment's not perfect, but it's less scary. Let me take this turn this time far slower. I need to make a good informed opinion of how this compares to my Mustangs. Come on, better acceleration, let's go. Wake up. I'm gonna blow this thing up, son. I gotta be careful. You may not know it, but I actually have a horrible track record when it comes to small block Chevys. I've blown more up than I can currently count. And I've never blown up a small block Ford, well, except for 8-ball. I've blown up one small block Ford and a lot of small block Chevys. So that kind of feeds my love for the Mustang. But this thing sounds good. It runs pretty good. I would like to take a second to appreciate that now we're doing basically the same highway speeds we were when we first got the car, and I'm not white knuckling it. I got one finger on the steering wheel. There's no death vibration about to explode tires behind me. So we have definitely improved this car. We've not fixed it all properly, and it's not restored, but it's good enough that I'd hop in it and I'd drive it. So that's a win. First gear downshift. Oh yeah, there she is. There she is. It's not fast. It sounds cool because I put my mufflers on it, but it makes me smile. That's good. Better than nothing. It is so much better to drive without my hands sticking to the steering wheel. Now, the steering wheel is crooked, and I didn't really feel like fixing it, but at least it's not sticky. I can't say I'm transformed, but I can appreciate the love for the first-gen Camaro. It's not bad. We've made it to Mexico for one more. We'll do a dig this time. Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't worry, we're only doing 35 anyways. Yeah, that's pretty lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. If this was like a 4-speed car with a really worked over motor, I'm sure I would be head over heels, but this is literally the cheapest driving 69 Camaro I think I will ever see in my life, which is why I'm currently driving it. So, it's not bad. You know, it's okay. It's not bad. I would take a Nova over this. I love my Novas more than this, but it's okay. You know? Man, overrated. Hold on. You want to do some more autocrossing? Yeah. Oh, let's hit a pole or a house. Oh, she handles like she's on rails, baby. Yeah. Just don't turn left that fast. This is the lesson of the day. Oh, shit. Okay. New discovery, holy. It just did it twice. When you go over a bump, a big cresting bump, and you land, it dives left. I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm sure it has something to do with my eyeball alignment, but hey, I still got my hands on the wheel. We're fine. Appreciate that Speedy 10 muffler on there. Woo! That sounds pretty good. It will lay a semi-decent one-legger while taking a turn, which is not impressive at all, but I think we should test a better burnout real quick. Now what you got? So the battery doesn't die, but that's my first experience with the first generation Camaro ever. Never been in one, never driven one, never had one until this video. And I had some fun wrenching on it, although I have to say, I'm not doing anything else to this car. I have no interest in keeping it. I have no interest in fixing any of the rust, because to me, it's just an old Chevy car. I like my Mustangs, I'm sorry. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this time with us on the best damn automotive content on YouTube. I had a good time. I have to say I like the car. I just don't love it. But nevertheless, stay tuned for more badass shit coming up soon. Check out the Patreon for some cool new cars every single week. Check out Tom'sRefurb.shop for some badass merch. And check out Speedy's equipment if you want your car to sound kind of like that. Because we can make that happen. All right, guys. I love you. Hey, check her out.